everyone, welcome to a new ASMR chess video. Today we will be playing a 10 plus 5 minute game and we will be trying to pump up our rating. So it's time for you to relax, leave your problems behind and just focus on the chess. There are no worries, you just focus on the chess, breathe in and lose your problems. Okay, today we are facing the Scandinavian defense. So we take and he plays knight f6. Okay, that's I think we have to lose this pawn. However, if I defend it, I don't see. I mean, yeah, he can take it with the knight, but I actually never played this before. I normally play d4. But what if we try to develop the bishop first? Yeah, so the pawn is lost. That's not a problem. However, I see that now that if he takes the pawn, if I play queen to f3, I threaten checkmate and I threaten the knight. So he's gonna have to move back to stop the checkmate. Is that a good move? Could be. Could be a good move. I took the knight away, the square of the knight with our queen, but we're creating a dangerous attack on the f7 square. The queen is active, and so I mean, I think the only way to stop checkmate is knight to f6, or he can defend the knight but he will block in his bishop, or he can defend the knight like this. There are numerous ways to stop the checkmate and to stop the capture of the knight, but I see that each and every one of them are a bit weird, right? Like, yeah, that was another one of them. Just blocking this. And right now what we can do is if we develop the knight, he takes. And instead of taking back, wait, he takes. And I can take the pawn as well. And if he cannot defend the rook, he has to go here. And I take it. That's interesting, right? So takes. I take the bishop first, I think. Then I take this. I think it's good. Let's see. This would happen only in the case that he took. If he doesn't take, well, he has to defend yet again the knight with the c6, which isn't the most comfortable move to play, but it's fine. We're here, we're looking for the next attack. Okay, so he plays knight to b4. I did not expect that, but threatening the fork. Okay, what we could do, if I play this, then he goes here. I have to move the king. He takes my rook. I take his rook. He moves the knight. Well, he cannot move the knight. It's pretty uncomfortable for him. I think takes, and then here, defending the pawn and attacking this one. Because if this mean, I could drop back, and this will still be a threat, but then he takes, I take, and then he does this. Let's go for this. If he goes with the fork, we will slide back, and I think that's winning for us. He has to take me back, and I still want to go here. I think that's very powerful. But he has this fork. So very, very interesting position, definitely. He has to take my bishop. I mean, if he goes with the fork, I go king d1. He cannot recapture because I have checkmate on f7. But he can fork first and then recapture. But then I capture his knight with the king. Yeah, a little bit weird, but my king ends up in a weird position. But we don't even recapture, we directly go for queen b7. So many possibilities, but this, of course, this is a very interesting position. Yeah, so he decides to go for it, but I don't think that's good, because we have king d1, right? But now he says he will take. We have this check, he blocks. This check, he blocks. No. Okay. And now we win a whole piece. I mean, we could win a piece if we go here. Does he have any checks? No. Or we could go here, threaten the rook, but he can move his knight here, and that's it. So I think I have to take the bishop, to take the knight. Check, goes here, have nothing. Okay. So we're up material. That's the good part. The bad part is that our king's position is a little bit weird. We also provoked double isolated pawns for our opponent, which is great. And this is still hanging, and the only way to protect it would be, okay, so it's no longer hanging. So he has a fork here, which is very, very dangerous. We have to take care of this, and we will lose our queen. In order to defend that, we could develop our knight. He still has this, but in that case I think we just slide back. Yes, our rook will be weird, but I don't see another way. I mean, yeah, I could go here, but to defend, or here. I like this. How can he attack me? Goes queen here, takes, goes back. I don't find it weird, but I would like to develop. Yeah. And if he goes here with check, I think I don't know if I go to b1 or d1, which would be better. I mean, I like this because I have an open file for my rook and an open file for my rook. And this one just blocks this rook forever, and it's just playing with a rook less. So I think the most comfortable way is to go king d1 when he checks me. What does he want to do? He wants to castle. Okay, so if he wants to castle, let's how can we stop it? I don't think so. But we're up material, so that's fine. Maybe, yeah, he will double up. What if we make some room for the bishop? Yeah, that seems like an interesting move. Okay, we make some room for the bishop and we slide it here. I like that move. Okay, so right now he still cannot do this because it's the queen. So I think developing the bishop is smart, definitely. Could also have gone a3 to prevent knight to b4, which is pretty annoying now that I think of it. Because it's check and it also... Oh my god, he can go directly here. I didn't see it. I should have played rook d1 first. And the bishop also blocks my pawn. Yeah. That's weird. I mean, he doesn't have checkmate, but yeah, it definitely messes up with my plans. What if I go here? It's a bit weird. Does he have any checks? He cannot go here, he cannot go here, but he can go here, and that's weird. Let's go back. Yeah, I saw it. That's fine. He has checkmate on c2. Can we stop it? We can. By trading pieces. Our pieces are well defended. He doesn't have this because of the bishop. He doesn't have this because of our rook and knight, but I think the only way to properly stop it is... yeah. He checks us again. I think we will move here. Okay, our opponent is playing quickly, but we are one pawn up. However, I would... this is a great move, I think. Threatening the fork and this pawn. And also the rook is the only one that defends this knight. He has this check, but I could go here. But then he has this. I don't like it with the fork, but I could cover, I suppose. Maybe I go here better. Yeah, but then he has this. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I go here. He goes with check. I go here, and I think that stops, and I can further my attack. Yeah, so definitely I shouldn't have lost this pawn. My position was better. I had an advantage, but I think I rushed with this movement. Yes, this movement was rushed. I should have played the rook d1 first. So we are in a little bit of a problem here. Nothing too dangerous. I mean, our structure, pawn structure is fine. We could potentially go into an endgame. Okay, so I think that's a blunder, because if I go here, what? He goes check. I go here, he goes check, I go here. What if I take the pawn? I don't know which one is better, to attack both rooks or the bishop and the... I'm not sure, and I don't have a lot of time. I didn't want to get the pawn out. Okay, so he checks. What if I go here? My problems end, right? And I get a rook. Because if I go here, check, attack, and he can save the rook. So I go here. I didn't like this. I didn't have any other square, maybe here, but that's weird. I don't know. Maybe it was okay, c1. No, he had this check. So I think it's fine. It's a little bit... It looks dangerous for sure, but I think I'm winning a rook because he has no checks now. Well, I'm not winning a rook, but at least I'm winning an exchange. We have to be careful because our king doesn't have a lot of squares right now. But I think we should trade pieces. We should trade pieces, even though... Yeah, because I have a piece. I have one more piece. He has more pawns, but I have more pieces. Okay, so... Okay, I'm definitely gonna take this rook, I think. Or not. We straighten our bishop. Okay, let's trade everything. He has to take me, if not I'll take his bishop or his rook. Yeah, he can come back. That's true. But that gives me initiative, I think. Okay, so he takes me. I think I win another pawn here. Does he have any checks or dangerous attacks? Okay. He realized it and resigned. Guys, we have a beautiful game. I'm gonna start saying good game. Thank you. I'm gonna start saying these things to my opponents in win or loss. You know, I think it's a good way to go about life. Be respectable, and even if you win or lose, just congratulate your opponent. Okay, so a beautiful game. Okay, not a very long game for sure, but 91.4 accuracy. That is amazing. Okay, but my opponent also 81.3. In a beautiful game. But I know where I went wrong. But let's see with the engine. So this is not amazing. Okay, should have just developed the knight on f3. But I thought it looked dangerous, and yeah, he could have developed here, and that's it. Well, I thought it was good for me, because if he would have done that, the engine says it's a little advantage for black. But practically, I think white is a little better, at least at my level, because you have some interesting attacks with a battery. You force him to play this, blocking the bishop. Okay, he can fianchetto, obviously, but I don't know, it seems a little bit more active for white. And yeah, this move was good. Okay, great. Okay, so the bishop capture was great. Then king d1 was great. Capturing the knight was great. Developing the knight was great. Oh my god, what a beautiful... Okay, d4 would have been better. Okay. But d3 isn't bad either. I just wanted to... But d4 would have been better. What if he takes? I take? He takes. Ah, okay, he has nothing. Okay, I think I lose a pawn, but I gain initiative. Okay, and I recovered the pawn after. Okay, interesting. I saw it and I felt afraid to play d4, but I played d3 and that is also okay. That was my mistake. For sure, it doesn't lose the game, but it is a mistake because it allows d3 to be captured, and we have no reason whatsoever to let our opponent to capture d3. No reason whatsoever. So a better move would have been to queen e4. I thought about it, but I don't think I would have played it. Engine says d4, which looks so unnatural, but rook to d1 would have been better. Yeah, it's the third move. I would have played rook to d1 if I had a little bit more time. But in any case, we had to be precise here. King c1 was the only move that maintained the advantage, so we did it. King b3 wasn't gonna cut it because obviously you have this check and then you go here and you get into a sequence of checks and you give black so much activity. You have forced to go to a3, push the pawns, go with, I mean, the engine still says why this has an advantage, but you know what, the thing about the engine that you need to be aware of if you're at the beginning stages of your chess journey is that engine calculates if you were also an engine. Okay, so in this position, for example, they say that, for example, they say that white is winning but in theory, I mean, the king is on a4. There are a lot of mistakes that can happen. Real humans make imprecisions and little mistakes. Even grandmasters make subtle mistakes that little by little allow the opponent to win. Chess is basically a game where the one who wins is the one who makes fewer mistakes. So the engine doesn't practically make any mistakes. So you need to think about it in terms of human chess behavior. Like, I mean, this is scary for white. If you're a grandmaster, obviously maybe not, but for me at least, the checkmate was threatened here. This was the only move that worked. Look at this, the only move, queen e4. The other ones give advantage. So this one, whoops, I didn't want to go into this. So knight d4, yeah, you just sacrifice a piece and you give advantage, but I saw queen e4, very beautiful move, u4, basically force a queen trade, and we're better, okay, and we get to live another day. He had this check, yes, and I could have gone here, but then I had an advantage, okay, my rooks are connected, his bishop also is dead, and he cannot push this pawn. He can push this pawn, but it's difficult for black. So the thing I wanted to say is that you take the evaluation of the engine with a grain of salt. Okay, if you're a grandmaster or a very, very good player, you can take into account much more the evaluation of the engine. But if it's +1 or +1.5 in some positions, it might feel that black has the advantage. It's very difficult to realize the evaluation, the real evaluation, without an engine. Okay, I just wanted to make this clear. Okay, so knight to d4 would have been better, but this, I thought it was more direct from a human perspective. I mean, this also threatened this pawn, but I like this. But yeah, he had this check. Okay, so taking the pawn was better. Okay, I should have taken the pawn. Does this check? I go here. But I thought this. He loses the knight. It's true. It is true. He loses the knight. I thought that he had this check and I couldn't get a knight. I thought I had to block it with knight c3. But look, this is an interesting take. Take into account when the pieces are not defended. Okay, so I went with this fork. That's fine. Queen b3 would have been better, but queen b1 is practically the same. I was afraid of some of the rook d3, but it didn't exist. That threat wasn't existent. Okay, I took the rook on h8. Now I forced the exchange. Okay, I was up, and now he blundered this pawn. So it was very difficult to play. I could have just raised my king here, and my rooks would have been connected. Plenty of open files to work with, and a 4-point advantage. So this game would have been won. But I'm very, very glad to have played such a precise game, even though it wasn't that long. It was 21 moves, but hey, every game is an improvement. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget that I make each of these videos with the intention for you to just feel good and relax and forget for a while about your problems, your stress. Maybe just focus on some chess, because at least I feel that when I focus on chess, I don't think about anything else, and that just makes me feel good. Okay, it makes me feel better and just more calm. I feel more energetic afterwards. So I try to convey these emotions in these videos. I know that the quality of the chess is not super high, but I hope the feeling that you get from these videos can compensate the the lack of chess ability. Because obviously, as you know, I'm only an amateur player, and I recently started going to real life tournaments, and I enjoy that a lot. So a lot of video ideas will be coming. I want to make videos with a physical board as well, with ASMR sounds. We can learn together some openings, and we can also convey some chess sounds, and I have a lot of great ideas, but I don't want to lose this series. I think it would be a very, very cool series to have in a few years' time. Hopefully I maintain the making of a video every single day, and in 2 years, maybe, who knows, I am 1700, 1900, 2000, who knows, maybe I get to the 2000 earlier than expected. You know, sky is the limit, but the beautiful thing is that there is no rush. We're just here to enjoy the experience. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you subscribed, thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. I'm at the start of this journey, and I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and don't forget that everything is okay. Okay, you will make it. Doesn't matter what problem you have, you will make it. Okay, just give it time and breathe in, breathe out. Life is beautiful. Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful day, my friends, and see you tomorrow.